Why is a sexless marriage so damaging? In a healthy marriage, you have sex. And unless there are extenuating circumstances, a reason why that can't be, if both people are physically able to have sex, they should be. That is the mode of a healthy relationship. However, many of us get into what we call an intimacy withdrawal. It's like our bank accounts, our emotional accounts, our physical accounts, our relational accounts have become over withdrawn. We are in a negative balance. Leave a comment if this sounds familiar to you. Like, here's an example of what we often see. Sometimes maybe a wife and a husband will be home at the end of the day, and the wife wants to share something with her husband, and the husband's on his phone and he's checked out. And the wife does not feel heard and does not feel like her husband is emotionally supportive of her.
Many men are delaying marriage due to a perceived lack of intimacy within the institution. They believe that some women may use intimacy manipulatively, creating a sense of mistrust. This leads men to avoid interactions and relationships with women altogether. The fear of emotional and financial exploitation makes them wary of commitment, resulting in a growing trend of men staying single and refraining from serious relationships. This highlights a significant challenge in modern relationships, where trust and genuine connection are increasingly difficult to establish.
Your partner, spouse, husband, wife, they're supposed to be up here, above almost everything else, including yourself. So I know that if he doesn't want me to do something, he has a good reason for it, and I know that he has my best interest at heart, just like I do for him. So I can be independent, opinionated, and be my own woman while still respecting and listening to my man.
So many women are not reacting well to this, but she did not say, if my man says no, I listen. What she said was, I respect my husband because he respects me.
What is a time where you felt that you failed that you learned a valuable lesson from?
That's such a hard question. Getting divorced was a big lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? What happened?
For a long time, like in your 20s and 30s, like getting married was a big goal, and I got married. And then I realized that that's not everything. Mm-hmm. And what I learned through being married was that knowing who you are, knowing your values, and knowing your non-negotiables is so much more important than anything else. It could be more important than the person that you love. And that was a huge lesson for me.
So do you think you didn't know yourself before getting married?
I think I didn't really know how important my values were to me before I got married.
What is true love like, in your opinion?
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Why did it not work, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted to work so much that I was willing to overlook aspects of him and myself that didn't align with my true values, and that's why it didn't work.
In the present society, there is a detectable pattern where numerous men are progressively reluctant to enter associations with current ladies. This reluctance is established in the discernment that cutting-edge ladies are more centered around private addition and less dedicated to customary relationship values. Men frequently feel that these ladies treat connections as a game, controlling feelings, sentiments, and, surprisingly, monetary assets for their potential benefit. Men who want to get married often want a life that is stable and peaceful. However, their encounters with contemporary women frequently result in disappointment and anger. These ladies are seen as conceited and unfit to focus on family arranging or the cravings of their accomplices. This self-direction and absence of obligation to customary conjugal jobs add to a developing hesitance among men to seek after long-haul connections or marriage. Gender roles and social expectations have had a significant impact on the modern dating scene. Modern women often place a higher value on their careers, personal development, and independence than the conventional expectations of marriage. There is now a gap between what men and women are looking for in a partner because of this shift. Men frequently feel that their assumptions for common help, shared objectives, and close-to-home association are neglected. Additionally, relationships' financial dynamics have altered. Generally, men were viewed as the essential providers, yet as additional ladies become monetarily free, the power elements inside connections have moved. Some men are uneasy about this change because they think it makes them less important and important in a relationship. This distress can prompt a hesitance to participate in the dating and marriage scene. Numerous men are deferring marriage because of an apparent absence of closeness inside the foundation. They accept that a few ladies might utilize closeness manipulatively, making a feeling of doubt. This leads men to stay away from communications and associations with ladies through and through. They are wary of commitment because they are afraid of being emotionally and financially exploited. As a result, the number of men who stay single and avoid serious relationships is on the rise. This demonstrates a significant difficulty in contemporary relationships, where genuine connection and trust are becoming increasingly difficult to establish. The Me Too movement and modern feminism have led some women to adopt an attitude of independence and self-sufficiency that can be perceived as alienating. This has led to an increasing number of men opting to distance themselves from traditional marriage. Open dialogue and mutual understanding between genders is needed to bridge the gap and foster healthier and more balanced relationships.
And what do they get out of it?
But
like, men are logical.
Sorry.
They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
Women will check out before they leave, long before they leave. So when a woman is emotionally just spent in her relationship, she will stay for a specific time frame as she's mentally preparing herself to leave. But when she finally pulls the trigger to bounce and leave, she's gone.
So would you agree that the vast majority of divorces are initiated by women?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I do know that to be somewhat of a fact.
Well.
Single check. If you're single, heart this. Comment where you're from.
Ouch. When a man's divorce settlement called for his ex-wife to get half of everything that he owns, well, he took that quite literally. He got out those power tools, went to work, cutting everything he owns right down the middle. He's not angry. Not at all, no. He's totally peaceful about this. And then he posted those photos on eBay, putting half of his car on sale for $60. Half his laptop is also available. Maybe half a couch. Could be called a love seat. Probably not in this case. But it is a true half off sale. What kind of a power tool can go right through a car, though?
Why would I get married? Why? Yeah. There's no actual reason to get married. It can complicate things. I have some friends that just have a woman they love and they had kids and they just didn't get married. I find them happier than those that get married.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like once you put the marriage title on it, there's just this like added pressure too, right? That like the relationship doesn't need.
Did you hear about this new food that like completely destroys sex drive in women?
No.
Wedding cake.
Do you think that American women are unmarriageable?
Oh, this one's probably going to get banned, but I'm going to answer the question because she is asking a legitimate question, and I love that she is, to be honest with you, but I know my answer is going to trigger some people. The answer is yes, American women have become unmarriageable, and it's not really for the reasons you're talking about. You talk about being promiscuous and all that. Honestly, I could care less what somebody does. What it is they don't respect us. They don't respect us as men. They don't respect us as human beings. They have this preconceived notion of what we're supposed to be, which is perfect. They have all their criteria that no man could ever meet. And even if he managed to, they'd create new criteria that, again, he could never meet. So yes, marriage is done. We've walked away. Dating is done. We're done. That's where it's at. Enjoy.
Why men won't leave a marriage if they're unhappy? I've been asked this question a lot from women, and here's the honest truth coming from a man who once was in an unhappy marriage. Number one, we love our children. We would sacrifice our happiness any day of the week just to be near our kids and tuck them into bed. Another reason is they know that they'll be financially ruined if they leave. Even if they were the world's greatest husband, most courts will deem the benefits of the divorce to the ex-spouse by giving her alimony or child support, leaving him in a dire financial situation, which he will be crippled for the next 5 to 18 years. And last, truthfully, deep down we still love our wives, and we want things to be better.
What does a guy get from a woman that he couldn't get from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker?
So this is what internalized misogyny looks like. This woman jumped out there and said the only thing that women bring to the table are cooking and cleaning and intimacy. See, pick-me's have to exist so that men can have women to point to and say, see, it's not just us. Women feel like this too. She don't represent us. Hey, Suri, who lives longer, married men or single men?
Here's what I found from harvard.edu. Statistics on marriage and health show that married men are healthier than unmarried or divorced men and are also more likely to live longer.
So while y'all out here worried about cooking and cleaning, good women out here adding years to your life. So why don't you go and see if you can get that from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker?
So I understand what she's saying. So what she doesn't understand is that these men now, they're waking up. They're realizing, holy shit, if I get married, I could end up in divorce and she could take half my shit. That is the real question. See, what she's missing here, it's not that men don't want to get married, it's that men don't want to get fucked through divorce.
Do we need men? Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do you need a man?
Oh, God.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world?
Young liberal women are some of the least informed, most discriminatory people out there. And it's like, I look at single guys and honestly, I get it. If I were a guy single looking at like people like this as my dating prospects, I 100% would be running the other way. We'll see if these women are still so keen on not needing men 20 years in the future when all they have are their cats and their wine.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You gonna give me a hug or what? Oh no, that's lame.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah, that's lame.
No, it's not. It's
Very
respectful.
Lame. No, lame.
No?
Lame.
Oh,
Lame.
well, you can just sit down then.
Well, you can stand up.
Or you could just sit down.
Oh, I'm gonna walk out then.
Air hugs.
She didn't want to stand up. Typical feminist. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You got to play the game, guys. This is how women are nowadays. You know, they want to sit there and think, oh no, I'm not going to stand up. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to demolish you in this debate.
I just think marriage is an L in today's day and age. I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it's just, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't want, you don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep. The whole life partner thing might be a nice idea for some people, but even without a formal contract with the government involved with a marriage license, the pitfall is that being together constitutes a common law marriage. How do you get around that?
Women are not desirable right now. Everyone's a Kim Kardashian clone. I asked you earlier, what don't men want? And you said promiscuity. Well, that seems about the only thing that's being offered right now. When I open my Instagram and I've got butt cheeks and I'm going, people are like, I don't understand why no one wants to marry. This woman's been married 4 times. I'm like, well, I can understand it, because even if men think they want it in the short term, when you see a girl, she's half naked, she looks good. Yeah, sure, you probably do want to have sex with her. I bet you're wired that way. You're hardwired that way. Yeah. But then what happens after you have sex with her and you realize that so did 20 other dudes
100%.
in the same week, you don't want her.
You nailed it. You absolutely not only nailed it.
One thing that we respect about a woman is how firm she is on her non-negotiables, because it's going to let us know how much effort that we need to put in. Like certain women that you run into, and as men, we know it, we could just do whatever. We could say whatever. We could be half-assed. We could be inconsistent. And we know that she going to be there at our every beck and call. If we call her at 3 a.m., she picking up. If we in this situation, hey, we need something, she coming through. But there's certain women that we know, yeah, nah, man, we got to like go about this the right way. She not playing. Like she said that, you know, this is what she expects, this is what she requires. And as a man, I got to climb up that ladder and get there, or she will move around from me. And it's not even necessarily, oh, she got this many options or whatever, but it's just a matter of, hey, she's not tolerating anything that's outside of her non-negotiable list. And as a man, we respect that. And more times than not, when it's time for us to settle down, that's who we settle down with.
Have you ever cheated before? You're lying. I can read characters very well.
Gotcha.
There was a gentleman here named Nick. He was explaining to everyone how the show is going to proceed and giving us the basics on, you know, how to be respectful, in other words. There was one person who was not paying attention while he was talking. Who was that?
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
So out of everyone sitting here, why are you the one that's sitting here being disrespectful when he's taking out his time to show you how to best present yourself in front of millions of people?
Because I was turning off my alarm. Yeah, and I didn't want to forget to do it later.
Sure, I hear you. Because you're a disrespectful person and you were rude.
I don't think I said anything disrespectful. I mean,
I agree with you. I agree that you think you weren't being disrespectful because that's your actual nature.
I don't know
So,
how being on
back
my
to your
phone
point.
correlates to cheating. That's ridiculous. Like, be for real right now.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
What the
Yeah, no, if you had legitimate...
I think I have a lot more to offer than just being on OnlyFans.
If you had
like, that I
significant...
started.
Me calling my ex-husband while we were separated because I was having a panic attack and he was my safe person. Him coming to pick me up even though I was the one divorcing him. I completely understand this. I did it several times. I struggle with the sadness of the decision, but it was needed. So your ex-husband is needed, but he's your ex-husband. Mine didn't come. I go through them alone now, and it hurts every time. There is a disconnect happening where women are leaving their men yet expecting them to stay and keep performing their husbandly duties. Do you think if he called her having a panic attack that she'd even pick up the phone? Being expected to constantly provide and care for people who have given up on them is not good for men's souls and their growth. It is beating them down mentally. Even if it's not your intention, it is so incredibly manipulative to break up with a guy and then expect him to console you through the breakup.
And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.